This is the emergency broadcast system. This is not a test.
Government officials insist that this
The Center for Disease Control has reported an outbreak of the virus. Check things.
drop it.
Hello everyone, I'm Joe Taker, also known in the game as Joe Taker 666. This is episode 9 of season 2 of the Dead Frontier Talk Show. Now you might notice a couple things different here with the show. We have a new background, thanks a lot Mama Gus. Shout out to you for making this lovely image for us here. It is a 16 by 900 resolution image, and we will be using it as a background for our future episodes and show. So now I like to clear out a lot of my stuff here. I put it all in one folder when I'm not filming. Otherwise, it's just on my desktop, and obviously got my recycle bin there. So this will be covered up by some sort of gameplay, which should be coming up on your screen as you watch the episode today. And I am testing out the sizes, so if you have any suggestions for that, let me know. So if it looks kind of off, bear with me. I am testing some things out, and it might change throughout the episode. So just like season 1, we've adjusted some things. Before it used to be in the lower left hand corner. We figured that wasn't enough. It had to be more of a center of the attention as you're hearing the voices in the background. So it's best to keep it in the middle. And I think we have some solid area to work with here. And it might cover up this lamp here, maybe some of the table, but I think we can make it work somehow. And if not, we can always do a widescreen here and cut out everything but the top logo here. Now, when I'm doing normal episodes of just talking, that won't take too long, then I'll probably leave this out open without any sort of gameplay if it's going to be a quick announcement or something similar to that. So let's continue onward. And thanks again for everyone tuning in with us. It's been a couple weeks since our last episode, and I really sincerely apologize for that. Um, to be honest, I took a little break with some things, with real life and family and all that good stuff. So now that we're back, I do want to mention that when school starts, for the most people here in the United States, school starts usually on the 26th of August, and that will be next Monday. Now, it might be different for others, of course, but our episodes will continue every Sunday. Now, that might be a little different for you because of time changes. It might be on a Monday for you, who knows? So, obviously, you got to kind of check every Sunday and see more or less when we upload our videos, and then from there, you can kind of arrange it to your own schedules. So, we will be continuing every week. Starting now, this is episode 9 of season 2. So, here we are getting into the season. Hopefully, it's going to be a great one. We got some good plans, and this giveaway should be pretty exciting. We're going to have some events we got to advertise, some different services on the Dead Frontier community, and there's some people out there that want us to say a little something about their event that's coming up, whatever it might be. So let's continue onward. We do have some topics to discuss as well about the arena and all this other extra stuff, just to toss in to make this a good episode. Let's check out some fan mail, and I do have to dig through some of the stuff, and some of our fan mail was posted on our forum, so I have to kind of search around, get some of that out there. So I will be doing that in future episodes. But right now, I got two people to point out. First, we have Captain Hardcore, and we were talking previously, and he wants to talk on Skype. He does have an event going on. Be sure to check that out. I'm gonna post up some info on that, and I'll cut to that in just a little bit. But first, he does say, "Good, great show. Thanks for the support, Captain Hardcore." Shout out to him. Now let's go to page 1 of my messages to get the second fan mail. Now, any fan mail, even if it's anonymous or you don't want it on the show, by all means, let me know. By the way, anything like that, you will automatically be put into a raffle to potentially win some good stuff during the giveaways that we have planned for you. So let's go to this next supporter. His name, and I'm sorry if I butcher it, it's Insigneur. Now, I'm not too sure if I'm pronouncing that properly. I do apologize ahead of time. And he says, "Great show, bro." And he sends me, I guess, like a text form of a revolver. Thanks for that. I will use it to kill a Titan. I miss my Alpha Bull. And now, for those of you who haven't played 2D, that's unfortunate. I feel sorry for you guys, actually. But 2D was a good time, and I remember always using an Alpha Bull back then, even in 3D actually, and so I replaced it with my current weapons. Now, I replied to him saying I'm glad he liked the show and he's new in Dead Frontier, and he searched a video on YouTube and found mine. So that's great. I'm glad he did find our video, or videos rather, and I hope this show helps out a lot of new players, and we're trying to focus on the new players, trying to get you guys more into the community a little bit, for the people that are joining Dead Frontier post 2D. So let's close this tab and open up another one. This is the thread. It's already on page 40. Awesome. I'm gonna scroll up now. Any news reports or anything like that will be posted on this thread, so make sure to check that every now and then for anything new. Obviously, I do update the title. As you might notice, it says episode 8 because that's the latest episode as of the time of this filming. Now, when you're seeing this video, you might have noticed, oh look, it says episode 9 or whatever the case might be, and that obviously shows that that episode was just released, or that's the latest one. So shout out to some of the people here that helped us keep the forum pumped, and obviously without having it bumped all the time, it doesn't really spread the word as good as it should be. Now I'm kind of distracted because of this this GIF that he has here as a signature. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So this is I Prodigy. Thanks for that. Scrolling up some more. Now here we are. We are going to the this competition from Captain that he messaged us. So let's scroll up a little bit. Okay, there it is. So this is Captain Hardcore. He is online actually, so shout out to him if he does end up seeing this. He says, I'd like to advertise slash promote the Hardcore Survivor competition. Now that image is right here. Okay. So this is Hell Week. It's 1 week, one survivor, and you could potentially win $1 million in cash. This is Dead Frontier cash, mind you, and 250 credits. Now this is the basic info that he's given me. He says create a level 1 alternative account, obviously can't be your main, survive in the city for 1 week, and then he says the time from 6 p.m. Now this would be this Friday, August 23rd, until the next Friday of the next week. So even exactly 1 week, and the survivor with the highest XP wins. Now I'm sure there's rules with this, and he says sounds easy. Well, the catch is you still have to be level 1 and alive, meaning you can't return to the outpost to level up. You obviously can't join into an outpost. Now skills and tactics will replace armor, weapons, brain power over firepower. Now that's pretty true. And he mentions winner takes all, 1 million and 250 credits. Do you have what it takes? So at that point, I did PM right away, and we might be able to work something out. So regardless, shout out to that event. Definitely check it out. So it is the Hardcore Survivor competition, and that should be quite interesting. Now, will I join it? I'm not too sure. I've been pretty busy with some things, but I do recommend it for you guys if you guys do want to check that out. So let's just minimize this and go back to our beautiful background. Now, normally I hide my mouse when I edit. There's an editing feature, and if you guys didn't know, I use Camtasia Studio, which is a lovely program for you guys if you guys are interested in editing and making videos. I use it to record gaming, all that good stuff. Now, I haven't mentioned, I do have a new computer. I'm upgrading from a laptop actually, and this computer is fabulous. It runs smoothly. Gaming is so much better. So be sure to check in on our channel because we will have some gameplay videos coming up shortly, and it's going to be a lot smoother than previous episodes that we've posted. So thanks again, Mama Goes, for that background. Looks excellent. Can't wait to have some specific guest members onto the show. I don't want to spoil anything, but we do have some great plans, like I'm always saying, and that's that. So let's continue on with some topics here today. Now we are focusing on some new players, and for the people that came in after 2D and didn't have that chance to experience 2D, which is slightly unfortunate. For some of the current players that are active in the arena and all that good stuff. Now I think a suggestion, and this was made to be by, I'm gonna make him an anonymous user and not say his name on the show without permission, of course. But I was told to present some of these topics. Now, before I actually go into anything specific, I do want to clear the air a little bit, and I do want to say to you guys, thanks for the suggestions and all that. But no, I did not run out of topics to talk about. I've got a message like messages similar to that, and no, I did not run out of things to talk about. I still have plenty to say. There's still a lot to get out on the show. Now we're saying things through you guys, and if it's anything's too controversial, we tend to stay away from. But now, according to whatever the topic might be. So like I said, I know what I'm doing here. I know what to say, and frankly, I do appreciate the topics that you guys send in. Any suggestions like that will be appreciated and looked over. If you give us something interesting to talk about, we will say it on the show and give you a little shout out even. So continuing, and also if you do get a shout out, that alone will get you into the raffle. Just to let that out there. So continuing, one of our topics that I do want to discuss is a suggestion actually, and obviously there's an INS section on the different tier forums, and you can check through those, and I will look through those myself, and maybe advertise some of that stuff on the show itself. So one of the suggestions actually that came to me was having some kind of team-based system for the arena. Now this could potentially, just from what I'm hearing, I guess, could be like different rooms or servers, kind of how they did it in 2D, where you choose a server prior to actually playing the game, and it might only have a certain amount of players, and you can put passwords on it and all that good stuff. Now it might be something similar to that, where the host can control their own settings for the arena, potentially have private battles. But now I can see that being a problem, by feeding kills, in a private room. Now I figure it might be something similar to for the people that do play Call of Duty. There's obviously a way to make private matches, and obviously you can't get XP, to get a higher rank in those private matches. Now I figured that was just a good example to mention because they could do something similar where you can have fun, you can have team battles, clan wars, whatever you want to call it, but still not actually feed any kills. So it's kind of similar concept. I thought that might be a good idea if they were going to do something like that. Or they could simply have it so there's an option, obviously same idea with the servers, but now it's team based, like 5 and 5, and it automatically fills you in on team versus team, and maybe they could balance it out by a level system, have a total level and just stack it up on each side and just balance it out accordingly, between 5 or 10 levels maybe. And obviously factor in classes and what kind of gear they're having. Obviously, there's always issues with certain ideas. So it might sound like a good idea for whatever it is you might suggest, but do keep in mind that there's a lot of processes to go through all this stuff, and obviously there's many ways to exploit things, and there's always issues like that when you're trying to plan out a certain system like that. So continuing onward, something like that could work. I do like that idea of like team versus team. Now it's simply up to the creator of the game to make the final decision, but it is a good idea and it could potentially solve some problems, and it makes things more organized. Now when you're in the inner city, there's some things that they could also add. Another suggestion, kind of moving on a little bit. Another thing they could add would be trading system in the inner city. Now, obviously, this is not really for my opinion. I'm simply speaking things for others and just other suggestions that I've looked over. Now, if you want my opinion on in-game trading, it would be simply that yes, it would make things a lot easier and simpler. And there's been times where I really want to trade with somebody, like, hey, I got so many meds on me. There's been times where I needed something, food or whatever. My character's hungry, but I don't necessarily want to make an outpost. So there's different situations that trading might actually be a good thing, and obviously have a system where both players have to accept and all that, and make things a little bit fair. Now it has potential for scamming, but there's always scamming. It's always going to be out there. So no, it's not really monitored, but I mean there might be an option they could add to report a player just in case something were to go wrong. And I think trading actually would be a good idea and might actually be pretty beneficial to everybody in inner city, but it's not a needed feature, but it would be a nice little luxury to have. Now, what we have is kind of unofficial on the Dead Frontier site. You can talk to moderators, you can make forums and bitch all you want on the forums, but there's no real official way to like report a specific player for a harassment or scamming or anything like that. And obviously having some kind of system, either in game or on the forum, would potentially make things a lot easier. Now there is a system reporting players from for what they post on the forums, and that's good too. And obviously you just send in a support ticket and that could solve things, but I feel like something in game would also be nice, like if you could, I don't know, right click on a player and that could potentially bring up a little menu. I'm not too sure, and that could be for trading. Maybe you can whisper something, in game, so you don't want other people to hear about, and just make it a little more like an MMO, make things a little more efficient. And that's what I'm trying to get at here. So if the game was a little more efficient, it might be a little easier for people to play, and maybe a little more welcoming for the new players. Such as a tutorial or just a little guide, even if it's a written guide or something like that out there. That's in front of the page right there when you first create an account. And I figured that might be really useful for the new players, because you're really just jumped into a world and you're not too sure what you're doing, and there's always room for mistakes. And a lot of our new players that come in end up really quitting because of all the BS that they end up taking, and just the game not being too welcoming in general. Now I know that working with somebody else or another company might have issues, but you can't really just think everybody's gonna screw you over. So I figure that Frontier and the development crew, not really crew, more like Admin Pun himself, needs to just consider that. Now I'm not bashing on anybody. What we have here is great. I like the game. I've always been playing since 2D, since '08 actually, late '08, and I enjoy the game. I really like it. I like the community, the gameplay. I like it all. But now it's been a couple years, couple long years, and there's only been so much change. I mean, I think after being with the community for a couple years, I think the players deserve something a little more professional, a little bit more upcoming, have just some things come out at exact times. Like every certain weeks, you get another patch, another update, and just make it a little more consistent and effective. And I think that would have really vastly improved the game itself overall. But I think it's still good, and I'm not bashing on anybody specific, but I feel like some changes might actually be good for the game. Obviously, a lot of you guys have suggested certain topics to discuss, but do keep in mind our show's reputation. I mean, we have a good reputation with the show. A lot of people like it. A lot of people know about it, actually, surprisingly, and it's shooting off really great. I like it. I like where it's going. Now, we don't want to ruin our reputation by saying certain things about people in general. Well, in general, I guess it's alright because it's just kind of unanimous type statement. But now, if we're directing specific clans or people, we don't want to get involved in that. Now, I am aware of certain issues and wars that are going on in the different tier right now. It's kind of a darker time with some things, and I do apologize for the new players that have to get into the middle of all this crap. But there's only so much I can really say on the show without really being, showing that we're biased or nothing. But, we are completely unbiased. We don't judge any of the other clans, how they work, what they do, whatever the rumor is. Now, speaking of rumors, actually, there's a lot of rumors going on with certain clans. I'm not saying anything specific, but I feel like unless you're in the clan or, know somebody in the clan, I wouldn't exactly take everything to heart. Now, I don't approve of anything that some of the clans do and are doing, but not to point any fingers, but I don't think you should exactly, bring it down to a fact, just because a certain clan has a bad rep for, kill feeding or something like that, or even pansying, doesn't necessarily mean, even if they really do that, and if you witnessed it yourself, even I have, but it doesn't necessarily mean you need to point fingers to the clan itself as a whole. Not everybody in every single clan does, stuff like that are actually dishonorable in my opinion. If you're gonna have a PvP fight, might as well stick around for the whole time and not just, leave just so you can save your score or whatever the deal might be. I mean, I feel that's a little silly, to take things a little too seriously, and I don't know. I feel like some of the conflict and drama that's coming on in today's time in the community feel like it can really be avoided by just not giving a damn and just simply not taking things too seriously, you know. I mean, I feel like the drama nowadays is taken to a whole new level. So, anyways, if you guys are 2D players and veterans, you know, I'm sure you're in the same boat where we can just go back to 2D, where everything was just casual, you know, everything was so simple back then, you know, and those were some good times. And I really do miss 2D. People have tried to kind of make remakes of 2D, I know that, but it would be nice if there was something similar, or if even Advent Pwn made, you know, a version of it 2D again. But I know for a fact that's not going to happen. I mean, we can hope for things, but it's not nothing's going to change unless there's something dramatic going on in Death Frontier. Now, going on to Doom Warrior, this is kind of old news, but I honestly don't think it will affect Death Frontier. People are constantly going back and forth on that. Now it's kind of died. I mean, a topic that kind of died out, I think. Now I haven't been too updated with like current stuff in the community, just because I'm coming back from vacation, all this other stuff. But I will come with more updated topics. But I will end the show with the Doom Warrior thing. I don't think you guys need to really worry about any of this stuff. Now, when Adamant Pwn did 3D and did all his other games and other stuff on the side, everybody always, you know, was surprised, and everyone was so scared about like how it's gonna change that frontier. But it never really affected anything. If anything, it made it even, you know, more broader, and it made it expand a little more. So, you know, you might think one way, but once it all happens, once it's all said and done, you know, you're gonna think back like, wow, I really shouldn't have worried so much. It's not really that big of a deal. It's not really gonna affect anything. Some people might leave, some people might join in, you know, they might test it out. I mean, even I will test it out, of course, but if it's good, I'll stick around maybe, but it doesn't mean I'm gonna stop playing Death Frontier, you know. And I will still recommend people to Death Frontier, because that's what it's all started from. So I say try it out, you know, and if you're really hating on it and you don't even want to create an account on it, or I don't know how that's gonna work, but I figure it's gonna be like another MMO, another website, that type of thing. And yeah, I say check it out. I definitely I wouldn't recommend it myself since I haven't played it yet, but I don't know, I'll give it a shot for sure though, and I think you guys should. And just be kind of unbiased and just, you know, kind of be like a judge. Don't be, you know, leaning on one side. You know, just kind of see from different angles and point of views when it comes to certain situations. That's that. There are some topics I do want to go over later, and I do want to get some clans on the show. So also, if you have a clan, either upcoming or a current clan, or any services, anything you're, you know, any kind of business or whatever you're going on in Death Frontier, by all means let me know. Even if you have a channel on YouTube for Death Frontier, popular or not, you know, give me a little message, comment below, doesn't matter, and I'll definitely check it out myself, give you some feedback if you're new, whatever the case might be. But regardless, I will give you a shout out, and maybe we can work some kind of arrangement to kind of cross advertise and help each other out. So that kind of wraps up this episode. I don't know if we went too long, probably not, about a 15-minute episode, I'm not too sure until I start editing, of course. But hope you guys like the new layout of the show. I figure it'd be a little more cleaner, everything will be a little more stylized, a little more professional. Especially with a new computer, everything's going to run a lot more smoothly, quality's going to get better, so I hope you guys enjoy that a lot. So, and I hope you guys are excited for the next couple of episodes, just as much as I am. This is basically just an opener, a little more than the previous episode, just to kind of start things up again and just get the topics flowing. So send me your topics, send me any suggestions, you know, any criticism, anything like that will be mentioned on the show. So anything you want to discuss, just let me know. We'll do it right here. So this is the Death Frontier Talk Show. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thank you guys for subscribing. You know, we passed 120 subscribers already. It's constantly rising. We're getting more and more views for different things. It may not even be Death Frontier related, but we're glad you're here anyways. We're starting new seasons, new series for different games, but that's not gonna hinder the Death Frontier Talk Show. It will continue. We will get new guests. And also, if you have any logos or any designs you want to make, we are still looking for user bars. And if you're using our signature or our picture as your signature, by all means use them. And we do applaud you for that. And just like the sign says up here, applause for you guys for sticking around this long. Thanks everyone for tuning in with us. And we are thinking about doing some live streams. We'll tell you when we're on air on the forum. We'll try to be a little more professional, and do keep in mind the different time zones. So we will try to factor all that in and make things a little more organized for you guys as the viewers. And you guys do deserve that. And thanks for sticking around this long. So we have many more things to go on, and that's about it. So this is Joe Taker, and I'm your host of the Dead Frontier Talk Show. Thanks for tuning in with us, guys.